Hi, and welcome back into day one of part three. Now, over the next 10 days, we're going to continue with visualization, but we're going to change the technique a little bit. We're also going to change the emphasis. So, in part two, the focus was a little more on ourself. In part three, it's a bit more on other. And when we look at this dynamic of self and other, I think at first the temptation is, well, of course we want to focus on ourselves because we want to change the way that we feel, but actually the more we focus on ourselves, the more caught up in our thoughts we become, and often the more conflict we experience in the mind. Whereas when we start to focus on others and on the happiness of others, somehow we forget ourselves. And in forgetting ourselves, we start to experience that very same happiness that we wish for others. So there's a really interesting dynamic at play here. It can take a little time sometimes to get comfortable with that, to get used to that. But over time, it becomes an incredible way of not only training in awareness, but also training in empathy. Now, it's really important to say this is not an excuse to give yourself a hard time. It's really easy when we're in this kind of frame of mind, if we're feeling quite sort of depressed or angry or sad, to kind of say, oh, okay, well, it's all about others, it's not about me, and to use it in that way. This isn't about kind of martyrdom here. This is about kind of understanding that dynamic. The mind doesn't differentiate between kind of internal and external, self and other. If we can generate this feeling outwardly, then we experience it inwardly as well. So I hope you find these next few days both interesting and useful, and I look forward to seeing you back here for day 6.